I've noticed that the times that I most do videos for you guys is when I've been for a jog. It's awesome. It's when I get the time to be with myself, and it's in nature, so I'm being guided and I'm listening. And yeah, so I'll jog more and post more. I wanted to talk today though about really a quick video, I think, so far, about having the life that you want, or living the life that you want. And I know so many of you who watch these videos and who follow me are the type of people who really are trying to have the kind of life that you want. It's something that you're aspiring for. And some of you might be dreaming really big and some of you might be dreaming really small. But I wanted to just talk to you a little bit about why you might not have that yet. Maybe, you've just started on your journey of creating the life that you want, or maybe you've been doing it for a really long time and you've had some breakthroughs, but it's never really stuck. I want to talk to you about the true key element here that is absolutely necessary, and in fact it can be the only thing that you focus on. And if you only focus on this, then you'll have the life that you want. And that is that you have to, to have the life that you want, you need to start being that person. You need to start being the person who has that life. So for instance, if you want to be a super healthy, energetic person, or if you want to have a life that's full of joy and full of activity, and who has lots of energy and wakes up in the morning feeling fantastic, then you need to start being that person. And as I say it, it sounds like a no-brainer, right? But I'm sure that if you're not, well, I know for sure that if you're not already living your ultimate life, then you're not doing this. You might be thinking about it, you might be imagining it, and that's really helpful, because in order to be able to be that person, we need to know who that person is, what we really want. And this is a whole other thing that I will post about a little bit down the track, and that is how to actually get in touch with your true dream and your true self, because a lot of us are actually trying to create our ultimate life, but it's actually not what we really want. But I'll do that in my next video. For now, I really just wanted to just remind you all that you have to start being that person. So let's say that you want to be super, super abundant, super, super wealthy, super, super successful in your business. You need to start being that person. Now, of course, you might think, well, if I don't have heaps of cash, how am I going to go and, buy the latest car or what have you? You won't be able to do that. But how does that person in your dream, how does that person wake up in the morning? How does that person speak to people? How does that person approach their business? How does that person work their day out or structure their day? What things do they do? You need to really start to be that person. So, it's like acting almost. It's like, get up, put on that body, and take that breath and start being that person. If you want to be the type of person, if your ultimate dream is having a really loving, deep, intimate, beautiful relationship with somebody, then start being that person. It might be the relationships in the future, but who's the person that is in that relationship? How does that person speak with people? How does that person see life? If I'm going to imagine being that person, which is kind of easy for me because I have it, but I hadn't always. If I want to imagine being that person, start being her, who is she? She's happy. She feels like she's the cat that's got the cream. So I want to start, how do I be happy? How do I be grateful? How do I be the cat that got the cream? How do I see the world? How do I talk to people? I talk to people with that feeling in my heart that I've got what I want. I've got love in my heart. So it actually is really simple. It takes practice though. It really does take practice. And some people think that doing this is inauthentic, but I could do, a week-long video cast on authenticity. And if anyone has any questions about it, I'm really happy to answer. But just remember, what is authentic? So is you being a grumpy bitch authentic? Is you finding everybody annoying authentic? Is you being too tired or too lethargic to get out of bed that little bit earlier to go for a jog? Is that authentic? Is you feeling like, not being able to create that super wealth? Is that authentic? It feels authentic to you because it's what you're used to. It's become a habit. And these habits, these emotional states that we experience that feel authentic to us are simply things that we're used to. And, when we have an emotion, we have a chemical response that our brain actually lets out a chemical response and we become addicted to those chemicals. That's why it feels authentic. So if you're doing something and it doesn't feel right to you, like this feels weird, it's probably because it's something outside of what you're used to doing, someone outside of who you're used to being. So this is actually a really good sign that you're on track. If you don't like it, like if you see yourself and go, I don't like this, then don't. Then that's not good for you, okay? But it needs to feel different. It needs to feel weird to you. And remember that those habits that have been created to create who your personality has simply come from your environment, from your parents, from your co-workers, from society, from other people telling you what's normal, what's real, and you've watched them and you've learnt from them. That's what we do as human beings. So just remember that being your authentic self, if you think that means being the grumpy, tired, lazy, poor, unsuccessful person, then that's pretty sad. And it's not who you really are. It's truly not who you really are. They are just habits, and we need to break the habits. So imagine what your dream is. Remember what your dream is. Make it really robust and start practicing being that person. That's it. Love you all.